Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever signed. It's right here.
You are a one-of-one?
My son's right about it.
I don't think I've ever said this before.
All right. So I don't know if you're following the feud or not. Obviously, a massive bomb was dropped just an hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago on Twitter that led to a bunch of different things. Elon Musk, Rob, if you can pull up the tweet, tweeted at 3:10 Eastern Standard Time, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. This thing gets 581,000 likes, 212,000 retweets, 100+ thousand comments, 49 million views in an hour and a half, 2 hours. Rob, if you go a little bit lower, and he doubles down and says, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Alex Jones, timeline pin drop, right? Go back a little bit. He says this. If you go look at today's Tesla stock, Rob, I send you the link in the comment section, in the note section that I have. Tesla had its worst single-day drop-off ever in the history of the company. So when you look at this, Rob, there's a story I just sent you from Financial Times. It's important for the audience to see this. I put in my notes section. If you go to it, I send it to your text as well. It's important to see this because this shows the correlation of what's going on. When you look at how Tesla was affected by this, it's not a small drop-off. 14% plunge in biggest one-day valuation drop on record for Tesla, okay? On record for Tesla. So just imagine how his day's been today, right? The sell-off erased $153 billion of valuation from Tesla, the single biggest ever. Go to the next slide, Rob, if you could, and watch what it shows. These are the other days. June 5th, 2025 goes down as the worst. The other one was 25 March, 2 months ago. And then you see the rest. So it's not been a good day for Musk. Now, earlier, when the whole big, beautiful bill, Musk dropped a tweet a couple days ago saying, look, I'm just going to say it. It's not a big, beautiful bill. Then Trump earlier today, while I was doing a podcast with Charlie Kirk, Trump came out and said a few things. Rob, if you want to put out the video, I don't know if you have the video or not, what Trump said. I'll read this if you have it, if you want to go back to it. No, what you just said, put it right there, I'll read it. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. So it's not like this is a one-sided thing. They're going back and forth. Rob, there was a video that the president is saying, he's probably next thing he's going to say some bad things about me. I don't know if you guys saw that video or not. You saw it when Charlie Kirk played it today while we were talking. And while all this stuff is going on, by the way, apparently, allegedly is a better phrase to use. Is this it, Rob?
He hasn't said bad things about me personally.
That's the one.
Okay, yep.
That's the one. Watch this.
We've done a great job. Elon knew that. Elon endorsed me very strongly. He actually
Rob,
went up
too
and
loud.
campaigned for me. I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway, even if the governor ran, the real governor, not the governor from Minnesota, he's a sick puppy, that guy. That poor guy, I feel sorry for him. But they made a bad choice with him. But if you pick Shapiro or anybody else, I spoke to him recently about his house being set on fire, which was terrible. But if they picked him, I would have won Pennsylvania. I won it by a lot. But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate because that's billions and billions of dollars, and it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have we want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, it became a little bit different. And I can understand that. But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody. And he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape. He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next.
That's right.
But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Right. So, Rob, I can't hear myself. If you guys want to turn the mic on, I cannot hear myself now. Let me check this here. Okay, much better now. So you see that being said, and all of a sudden, allegedly, while we're going through this, of course, the Democrats are going to capitalize off this. They just tweeted this an hour ago, kill the bill and release the Epstein files. Elon Musk just unfollowed Stephen Miller, unfollowed Charlie Kirk, and unfollowed Trump, all on X. That just happened. And while this is going on, more continuation of what he said. A guy named Ian Miles Chung. Rob, I don't know if you saw this one or not. A guy named Ian Miles Chung goes out there and tweets something. If you can go to his handle, this is very interesting what he tweets. He tweets out there, if you go to his account, he goes out there and tweets the following. Now, you either trust this guy, you don't trust this guy. Go a little bit lower, Rob. Go a little bit lower. Go a little bit lower, a little bit lower. Lower, lower, lower. There's a tweet he puts out where he says they should impeach Trump. And right there, that's the one. Go a little bit lower. President versus Elon. Who wins? My money is on Elon. Trump should be impeached and J.D. Vance should replace him. Weird. And guess who retweeted that? Elon Musk did. Elon Musk retweeted that. So if you can go on Elon Musk's tweet, Rob, go on Elon Musk's tweet. Musk retweets that. What is he saying? So Musk is officially called for the impeachment of President Trump. Right there, yes. So this just got bad from a big, beautiful bill to all this stuff. And now, if you use your imagination, God knows what happened with that black guy. That black guy, you know, was it a fight that took place? Somebody swung and it really offended Elon. Is like, look what I'm going to do to you guys. Is that a Lutnick? Is that, I don't know who else did it. Who else will be in that room? I don't know who it is. Maybe, but think about it. That doesn't accidentally happen. And you want to do something like this too. Maybe it was a meeting while they're calling each other out and somebody just, because Elon started calling out Trump and it got nasty and then somebody swung and then somebody was a peacemaker bringing it in. I'm not speculating. Remember, the key word is allegedly. We don't know any of this stuff. But the timing of all of this is a little weird. Timing of all this is a little weird. So now I went on X and I ran a poll. And then I'm going to open it up because I want to hear some of the things you guys want to say. Rob, if you can go on my account. I ran a poll, and here's what the poll is. I asked, who do you believe more? Simple question. Trump, Musk, or neither? This was an hour, 46 minutes ago. 41,000 people have voted. So that's an ample amount of voters. 41,000. Rob, pick one of them. Look at that. Okay. Nearly twice as many people believe Musk as they do Trump. And you know my audience.
Wow.
This is my audience. This isn't like it's
random.
No, this is not. Poll. So, look, if you're watching this and you enjoy when we go live on these types of things and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And, you know, it's just a weird situation when you see this. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of theories. I'm going to pause here while we're going through this. Vinny, what's your reaction?
Well, first, I want to give credit where credit's due. I don't remember the actual date. How many months ago would you say that we were having a podcast prep and it was the H1B1 debate something? How long, Rob?
What would you say, Rob? 4 months?
That was December.
No, it was after Trump had been elected because it was the H1B1
Trump was elected.
debate.
Trump is in, and guys, and you guys were everybody in this room was there. So I have witnesses. There was a moment where you stopped and you looked outside the window, and it was a long pause, and you shook your head, and you said, this is not going to turn out good, and something about Elon. You mentioned something about Elon, and it's come to pass, and we're seeing it happen live, so I have to give credit. You called this a long-ass time ago. Like you said, the timing is off. I know Brandon has a really good theory about Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance, who J.D. Vance has been very, very quiet lately. But, I mean, my one thing I took away, because the biggest thing, okay, you could beef, you could talk crap, go back and forth. The bill, I get it, his stock is dropping. If you're saying that Trump is on Epstein's list, you're basically indirectly saying that Donald Trump is a pedophile. If that's true in your mind, and he's on that list, and that's the only reason, then you knowingly, Elon, are hanging out with a pedophile. You got this pedophile basically in as president. You put $250 million in, so you backed him. You let your child X hang out with them alone. Remember when they were walking on the lawn to go to Marine One. So if that's the case, you're a complete hypocrite. But at the end of the day, what does Elon know about the list? Who's seen that list? And again, I'm over that list because whoever's been looked at it, changed it, FBI, old FBI, new FBI, I don't give a damn about it. But I think this is extremely ugly, and it's not going to stop right now. And he said he withdrew the Dragon. What was it, Rob? He just took out
the Dragon Starship program.
The Dragon thing. He's saying he's scrapping it, so there's no more recyclable rockets. Here's my thing. I voted for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Elon Musk. Thank you for the help, but this is not only disrespectful as shit. I get it with the money, but when it comes to governing this country, that's who I voted for, and I can give two shits what Elon Musk feels about. But mind you though, here we go, and you showed a little bit of it. 6 months ago, the left was calling Elon a Nazi, a legitimate Nazi. Now they're all bending over and they're all giving it up for freaking Elon now. So how phony and how fake these freaking people are. Fake, phony as hell, all of them.
Okay, so the question I got is, who's going to be the first one that's going to interview him? CNN, MSNBC,
Elon?
someone from CNN
for sure.
Yeah,
CNN.
But this is
Don Lemon, maybe.
this is a question to be asking, straight up, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Do you believe that Elon's tweet about Epstein is purely trying to get under Trump's skin? It's because he knows something? Where do you think that tweet lies? Do you think there's credibility behind the tweet, or do you think he's just trying to get under the skin?
I think he's trying to getting under the skin because...
What's your ratio? 90-10 under skin?
90-10 under
credibility?
Skin. Because the left would have used the Epstein thing before Russian collusion.
Exactly. That's the point.
There's no way. Are you kidding? Yeah.
So
absolutely
where are
no
you
way.
at, Brandon?
Yeah, so I think there's two things here at once. I think that there's truth behind the Trump-Epstein connections, but not from the standpoint of him being on the pedo list or anything like that. I think there is a lot of evidence to show that maybe Trump had a lot of blackmail stuff where he used blackmail against people because he was mentored by Roy Cohn. He bought the Plaza Hotel. He bought the boat from the international arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi. So those are things that were allegedly used for blackmail. So I think from that side of things, he could have been involved in that type of stuff, but not the child sex trafficking type of thing, obviously. And Elon, I don't think he's doing this for pure intentions to get under Trump's skin. I think this feels like a coup where Elon's been friends with Peter Thiel since the PayPal mafia days, and feels like a situation where maybe they were trying to get J.D. Vance in and they saw an angle to do that from that day of the assassination attempt, because it's weird that J.D. Vance becomes the vice president the day after Elon strongly endorses Trump, and they loaded up Doge with Palantir employees. Now they have that Palantir Doge plan going forward, and maybe they were planning this entire time that the second that Trump isn't doing exactly what Elon wants, then they're going to execute this, because Elon wants a technocracy. He thinks that government should not be in charge, that private business owners like the tech elites should be in charge. So yeah, I think there's two things true at the same time. I think that Trump, yeah, he did some stuff where maybe he used blackmail as a currency in the past, but I think Elon has dark intentions. He's not America first.
Hey, and real quick, how would they be able to get Trump out? Would the Epstein something list be able to get him impeached?
I don't think they will, because I think there's a reason that the Democrats didn't use that. It's very telling that it's not hard to find stuff that is weird about what Trump did during the 80s with buying certain properties and hanging out with certain people. The left never mentioned that once, and what that tells me is they do not want to touch that thread. The fact that they tried these far-fetched attempts to get him on overpricing real estate, and this girl might have said something, this and that, and never even spoke about the Epstein list, tells me that they have a lot of friends, if not themselves, that are involved with that situation. I think this goes into both parties, and they will not touch that with a 10-foot pole. Yeah,
because if the Democrats have had this for all this time, why didn't they use it? If you have the FBI Epstein list and they have it, Trump's on it, you don't think they're going to do something with it? And why does Trump have so much confidence to be as aggressive as he was running? If you're on that, Herman Cain, people found out Herman Cain had a mistress on the side and it was public. Within 5 minutes, he dropped that. Him and his wife were arguing in the RV. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
It was out. You think this is going to last this long? Tom, where are you at with this when you've seen all this back and forth?
So I think the story is not, Epstein and all that. That's not the story.
because I agree with everything that's been said. Don't need to add to it. Dems and other people, opposition, would have used that long ago if there was a scintilla that they could grab onto. No, I think this is Elon has just picked one of the biggest, most carefully stated pokes you could use, because everyone is waiting for the Epstein files.
Yeah.
And everybody's and he's very concerned. I go back to 10 days ago, before we came in today, I looked back, and 10 days ago, it was leaking out that Elon had said when he was stepping away, I got to get back to my my companies. This is killing me. And he made that comment.
Yep.
And if in fact the $7,500 incentive is going to be cut and it's going to be rolled back, that hurts Tesla tremendously. When's the last time Tesla rolled out a new model? Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. They got the big one, they got the little one, they got the truck, and they got the Y with the mini SUV with the wings. There's been nothing going on at Tesla in terms of new product, unless they're about to get one. They've talked about the Roadster coming back, but there hasn't been anything. And they're just trying to sell. And so they're trying to run as a real car company, and they're trying to sell. They need that subsidy. So if that subsidy got cut out, I could see him being really pissed. Because, wait a minute, I did $250 million worth of help to get you guys elected, and nobody's watching my back on the $7,500 subsidy, and it's not a new present. All you guys got to do is make it stay. It's not, you don't have to give me anything. Just leave it be, because everybody gets it. But I suffer more because I'm a much higher market share here. So I feel that part of it. And then there's another part of me that just wonders, man, are we watching an op? Is this weird? You know, I traded DMs back and forth, Mark Mitchell, Rasmussen, a half hour ago. And it's like both of us are looking at this. Are they trying to, is this staged? Is this an op? There's so much to it that just seems so weird and out of the blue. So there's a little 5% of me that says, is this something crazy here that we're not seeing? But nothing on Epstein. It is a world-class poke because everybody's waiting for those files, and I think Elon.
Yeah, by the way, Steve Bannon said Elon Musk should be deported. He's an illegal alien. He should be out. So already you're seeing what camp everybody is going.
Alien.
You just saw a tweet from Elon Musk. If you go back up to Elon Musk, he ran a poll. 2.2 million people have voted for this poll, and look what it says. 80% agree with him. He ran a poll. Is it time for a third party? Okay, so zoom in. Is it time to create a new political party in America that can actually represent the 80% of middle America? Type one of them, Rob. Okay, 82% agree with them. Can you go to comment section, please, to see who commented in it? Just go in the comment section. Watch who's in there. Andrew Yang, okay.
Working on it, of course.
Keep going. You're going to see Shanahan. Watch this one here, what they tweeted. No, go up there to that one, Rob. Go up to that one. So look at this. And Elon Musk commented on that one.
Not Jerome.
I have a plan to cut spending. Guy reads it. How? Increase spending. So that's the joke. And Elon Musk laughs on it. Keep going a little bit lower. Keep going lower. Nicole Shanahan, you're going to see there. You're going to see a bunch of different people. We just need to vote in the right people. So this, Peter Schiff, we don't need a new party in the middle. The Republican and the Democrats are not far apart anyways. Just join the Libertarian Party. It already exists. Maybe you can actually help get some into Congress. Keep going a little bit lower. Keep going a little bit lower. Keep going a little bit lower. You'll see some of the names of who's there. The reason why this is important, when seasons like this happen, you are very easily able to decipher between who's got who's back and who's joining who. So I got a crazy question for you guys. Mm-hmm. Adam, I'm going to come to you since you're next.
Sure.
J.D. Vance, is he more Team Elon or Team Trump?
Elon.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Tech side.
He's Elon.
Think about his upbringing.
That is not
Pat, you heard,
good.
but you know the upbringing with
I
Thiel.
know.
Oh yeah,
Pat,
he's,
that is
Pat,
not
what
good.
is your perception? You study this a lot.
So
he better be.
No,
he's
let
let
me
Pat
tell-
talk.
buddy.
Let Pat talk, please.
Yeah. Team Elon, if J.D. Vance is Team Trump, of Team Elon, and this whole thing about him bashing Trump back in the days and flipping was just a way to have the opportunity coup because Elon and Thiel and all these guys would find a way to get rid of Trump and put J.D. Vance in there because Elon did tweet something very interesting earlier today. And hear what the tweet was.
Don't forget Vivek.
Elon tweeted something very interesting. Here's what he said. And food for thought, as they pondered this question, Rob, I'm going to send this to you. You have to see this, okay? Very interesting what he tweets here. Very interesting. Because in life, I remember when I was competing with a lot of younger guys that were coming up with me, and one day I'm on stage 17 years ago, and the girl saying, you're never going to be able to compete with us. I said, you will never, ever build a bigger business than us. Never. She says, why do you? I said, because of one thing. You don't have that we have. Never told her what it was. Of course, if she's listened to it, she knows now. You know what it was?
What?
We were thinking 30, 40, 50 years run. So I was 28 years old. I'm going to a freaking 60-year run. I'm going to be working till the day I die. Here's what Musk said. Food for thought as they ponder this question. Trump has 3.5 years left as president, but I will be around for 40 plus years.
That's actually
That's
true.
Exactly what I told you guys.
Yep.
If you remember that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
What he's trying to tell you is, do whatever you want for me for 3.5 years. J.D. Vance is around the corner.
Wow.
And we got more money, more power, and we're going to do it our way. This is a very, now, this is, again, allegedly. I know you're wearing the allegedly hat yourself. And by the way, for some of you guys that haven't ordered allegedly hat, this is probably the best time ever to order an allegedly hat, allegedly shirt. We got it on VTmerch.com. It's one of our top products. Go to VTmerch.com. Rob, put the link below for this specifically. This is the best season to wear allegedly. Okay? It's a word you ought to add to your repertoire. Well, let me go back to it. Here's the point I'm trying to make to you. If this guy's a long-term thinker, and he has more power, and he has more resources, and they're truly playing 3D chess to get JD in there, and that was their way of doing the deal. If you allow me to choose the VP, I'll put $250 million and go to Pennsylvania. Deal. If that moment happened, and him and Thiel, because Thiel wasn't a Trump guy. Remember, Thiel called Trump, and they had the conversation. Thiel called Musk, and Musk said, this is a once-in-a-lifetime election. I don't know if you remember this conversation he had with Barry Weiss.
Yep.
And he says, he told me this. When he told me this, I said, he's right. I'm in. Mm-hmm. What that conversation was, nobody knows. They're two of the most brilliant minds. Peter Thiel figured out a way through Roth IRA to save $6 billion on not paying taxes.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people think that way.
He's a long-term thinker, too. Remember
He's
the Gawker thing?
absolute long-term thinker. Brilliant guy. Huh? What would you say?
The Variety, the media outlet that exposed him for being gay. He spent like 6 years plotting a way to bankrupt them.
Oh, you do not screw with long-term thinkers. But in this case, I'm coming to you first, and I'm going to come to the rest of you guys. J.D. Vance. What is J.D. going to be doing? And is J.D. going to be somebody that Trump's going to put on the sidelines and not bring in the room when he's doing the decision-making because he knows he's a part of Thiel and Musk? This is a very weird time for President Trump to be a president.
So treat him as a normal vice president the way the last two administrations have.
That's right. Never get him involved in anything.
Obama did nothing. Obama did absolutely nothing with Joe Biden for 8 years, and Biden did absolutely nothing for Kamala Harris for 4 years. For the last 12 years, our vice presidents have done little more than travel to funerals around the globe, passing out flowers and saying, the American people mourn with you.
And I just checked. He has not, and I know like you and Adam, J.D. Vance has not tweeted or said anything, so it'd be very, very telling to see what he's going to say when he does say something.
Good. He should probably keep his mouth shut.
Who's that? Who should keep his mouth shut?
Well, if he had
he's
his
the vice president of the United States. He was hand-selected by Donald Trump Jr. Should probably have Trump's back.
He should.
Yeah.
He should say something.
So, can I give a little feedback here?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen long term. I don't know who's going to be right or wrong in the end. I do agree that Elon's going to be around for another 40 years and Trump's got another 3.5 years as president. But as of today, Elon Musk is looking like a petty scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, dude. This ain't a good look. This ain't a good look for Trump. This ain't a good look for Elon. And what I'm most concerned about, this is a horrible look for America. So, when you're starting a business, you always say, be very careful who you take money from. Be very careful who you're bringing on your board. Be very careful who you're bringing around. Exhibit A of why you don't take money from certain people. And then Trump brings him into the Oval Office. Elon's bringing his kid around the Oval Office. And they're playing nice for how long did this marriage take? How long did this bromance take?
6 months.
3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. This bromance is officially over. By the way, speaking of bromances and relationships, I know somebody knows a thing or two about relationships with Elon, and that's my friend Ashley St. Clair. Did you see what she tweeted?
Yeah.
She said, well, listen, Trump, if you need a little breakup advice, I'm here for you. I'm sure we have that tweet somewhere, but that if you need a little breakup advice, I'm here for you. This is I'm going to say allegedly in air quotes because it's pretty factual at this point. This is Elon Musk's latest baby mama. I'm sure there's going to be more that come out there. I'll say a couple things about the baby mama thing. The drug use, I know one thing about Trump. This guy said there's 3 things I don't let my kids have. Tattoos, drugs and alcohol, and smoke cigarettes. Put it in any order you want. Elon Musk on his daily medication box, allegedly of ketamine, ecstasy, mushrooms, and Adderall, shows up with a black eye at the Oval Office to get a key from Trump. And then 48 hours later, it's scorched earth. This looks petty all around. By the way, side note, if any other person out there had a half a dozen baby mamas, a baker's dozen kids running around doing drugs, talking about occupying Mars, we'd have a major issue with that person. We'd be like, who's this ghetto ass mother? But Elon Musk, all of a sudden,
guy, though. He's not a regular guy. He's a
I get that he's not a. I get that he's not a regular guy.
Can you go?
But this is a very bad look.
Go to online and ChatGPT and type in side effects of ketamine. What are the side effects of ketamine? Just curious. What are side effects of ketamine? Let's see this here. Short-term, mid-term, long-term. I hope it breaks it down. Okay, good. Disassociation, short-term, hallucinations or vivid dreams, confusion, delirium, drowsiness, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, elevated blood pressure, impaired blood. Okay. Midterm, what is it? Medical side effects, something that increased salivation. Okay, what else? Serious long-term effects, bladder issues, memory problem, depression, mood swings, liver function, addiction, tolerance, and withdrawal symptoms. Yeah. High-dose recreational, profound
that's where it gets ugly, pal.
Loss of motor control, hallucinations, inability to communicate, feeling of near death, or complete ego dissolution. What does that mean? Complete ego dissolution. Tom, what does that word mean?
You basically, your ego goes nowhere, and you just you lose it all. Disassociate from
you
existence.
lose your sense of self.
Yeah. So as you're going through this, the part that we have to ask ourselves is the following. Okay, how is this going to be managed? Because the market right now, the people that are pro-Trump, what are they saying? They say Trump is America first. 100%. Okay, Elon's not America first. They'll say things like, Elon's is his company's first. He had a rough day, guys. 14%? That's a rough day. Worst day ever for Tesla? It's not a good day. Yeah. Imagine all the calls he's getting, but imagine all the other calls he's getting from the board and all these other things that he's dealing with, right? Mm-hmm. So that's that part, okay? So Trump cares about America, let's just say. He does. Musk cares about his investments and his vision, which is what?
Space,
Mars,
vehicles,
all this stuff.
EV.
Trump's about getting all the business here. Elon's doing deals with China and a lot of other places. So, maybe some of the stuff that Trump was doing wasn't financially benefiting him. You would have thought Trump would have done different things with tax incentives of $7,500 to buy EVs, but you go away and he helps you. To somebody that's in Elon's side, they're like, dude, the guy helped you win an election. You cutting that stuff? And Trump's like, look, I think all cars should do well in America. I don't want to just focus on EV because that part was what? It was more of a leftist thing, right?
Remember what that was? That was part of the Green New Deal situation.
Right.
And look at what happened to Tesla stock after that bill.
Yeah, that's right. That's something that, one has to be putting in consideration and thinking about this. Tom, for you, one guy said, they're just playing games. They're just toying with everybody. I definitely don't think that's the case. I think this is as real as it gets. This is as real as it gets. How nasty is this, Tom? And moving forward, what does this do to the room that Trump's in? I asked him about Vance. He didn't really go there. I'm going to come to you. What does this do in the room? You're sitting there, Vance, Lutnick, Bessent. You got Cash, Bongino, RFK, Tulsi, Rubio. What's he now doing? Is this now a divided group and you don't know who to trust?
No, I don't think so. Here's what I think is going on in that room right now. I believe that there's a lot of people in that cabinet, good people in the cabinet. I put Susie in this category. I put Rubio in this category, that are relieved. We have been hearing for exactly a month, right about the time of the 100 days, we started hearing that some of the cabinet members were, man, I am so over this Elon and Doge.
Yep.
I'm kind of over this. I don't think this is going the way we thought it would be going. You heard that.
Yep.
I'm over it. It's not going the way we thought it would be. A month ago, you had that. So I think today there are some relieved cabinet members that said, well, here we are. This is the wrong way to do it. This is absolutely a horrible way to do it. We tried to give him the key to the city to get him feel honored and feel flattered and everything, and then leave. And then a day later, he goes scorched earth. So I think they're pretty pissed off because a minute ago they were relieved that he was officially gone. And right now I think the room is pretty pissed off. And I think this can galvanize. Remember, when bad things happen, you'll find out who's with you. And I've been in the room with Pat where in the industry we were in, we had to find out who was with us. Who was with us? Which carriers were with us? Which people were supporting us? Because things happen. Economies come, economies go, and the industries make decisions. It's not personal, but you got to find out who's there. And I think what's going on right now, I think he's about to find out who is absolutely with him. I think Bessent is. I think Rubio is. I think Howard is. I think there's relieved people, but that are really frustrated that it went down this way.
Okay,
And there's a jet taking off. Right
no, it's all good. Go ahead.
What was the question?
No, Brandon. So why don't you do this, Brandon? Rob, can you play the one clip Brandon has about Whitney Webb? You know which one I'm talking about. This one right here. So Whitney Webb, we've had her on a couple times. She's written some of the most interesting books that talks about technocracy. She doesn't even live in the States, but some of the stuff she says gets picked up, and it's very, very interesting. And when you do some research, what is in this clip here, Brandon?
So this is the first time I've ever heard Epstein be associated with Elon Musk. She says something I've never heard before about a reason why the Justice Department might not have been releasing certain things about Epstein and JP Morgan that were subpoenaed.
Okay, go for it, Rob.
Virgin Islands, because there was this case involving the U.S. Virgin Islands and JP Morgan as it related to Epstein. And that case got settled out of court, so it didn't go to trial. But I believe those documents would be very, very, very telling. But I would argue the reason they won't come out is because one of the people subpoenaed as part of that investigation was Elon Musk.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't necessarily accused of wrongdoing, but was subpoenaed because he was suspected of having had some sort of involvement with Epstein and JP Morgan. And there are allegations, of course, not really allegations, but, it was reported, before Musk was closely affiliated with Trump that Epstein had been advising Tesla and was part of this effort in 2018 to take Tesla private with Gulf oil money or Saudi money. And at the time, Epstein was advising Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, and was also known to have a close relationship with the elite families of the United Arab Emirates and also Kuwait and I think Bahrain as well. So perhaps they don't want to have that really be explored at this point. But some of the other figures that were...
Was she talking about Epstein here? All those people, all those relationships?
Epstein
and Musk. She was saying that Epstein was advising Musk on how to take Tesla private.
But all those other relationships, Mohammed bin Salman,
Epstein was like,
Jesus, this guy Epstein goes deep.
Yeah, he does.
Well, yeah, if he's tied with the intelligence networks. But I think, so genuinely, who do you think is more powerful though between the two of them right now? Because I think if Elon's gonna be in attack mode, Trump has a small window to knock Musk down a bunch of pegs because Musk gets like 30% of Tesla revenue from China and a lot of money from government contracts. So I wonder what damage could Trump do right now if Trump really wants to go on the offensive and commits to that and tries to take a degree of power away from Musk. Because I mean, if Musk is going to try to use his power like this, then that's not a healthy thing for America.
So that's not a healthy thing for what?
For America. So I'm saying Trump right now has a window to knock Musk down a bunch of pegs. With like 30% of Tesla revenue comes from China. A huge amount of his money comes from government contracts from America. So Trump could do a lot to severely hurt Tesla right now if you want. Because, you could almost take this as a threat to national security where this guy's trying to undermine the president. And believe me, I'm mad at both of them for separate things. But, you have to be patriotic on the side of the president when some...
Yeah, so here's President Trump. I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done it so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness, make America great again. So now he says that. But a part of this that to me is what would cause an Elon to go nuclear?
I don't think it's about the bill. It's way too extreme for the bill.
It can't be. No. What would make Elon go nuclear? What? You think the black eye is just like, what would make, for some, no, I'm being actually serious with you. What would make Elon go nuclear? It has to be something that was such a humiliating thing for you to go to this levels. And then there had to be a couple calls behind closed doors to make sure he knows he has some other people with him before he goes nuclear. Because if you don't have the other guys that are with you to go nuclear, I don't know. And by the way, you know what you learned here for a fact, that if you talk to him, just so you know, he can at any time turn against you.
Yeah. But what he's essentially saying, though, is that, like, let's say what he's saying is true. He's essentially saying he's okay with being friends with a president who is on the Epstein list if he's doing everything that he wants him to do. But the moment that he doesn't do everything he wants him to do, then he is not okay with that anymore. So, if that were true, like, how does that make him look? He's being selective with when it is a big deal to him and when it's not a big deal to him.
Why do so many people agree with him?
Well, I think I think there is some truth that Trump did maybe blackmail people. You could say allegedly to that. He bought a hotel that was used for blackmail in the past. He bought a yacht that was used for blackmail in the past. His mentor blackmailed a lot of people. But that doesn't mean he did the things that the people on the Epstein list did. That's an entirely different thing that just makes him associate with that world. So I think some people conflate those two things, and some people are upset with Trump with the lack of aggressiveness that he's had. Like, he came in like he was going to disrupt the whole establishment, get rid of the deep state, this and that, but he's being very civil. And that's like probably what I'm most frustrated with him about, is he's being too civil, and he's not like coming down hard on the people who try to take him out and the people that have this administrative state in place.
Yeah, I was listening to a guy earlier saying the fact that the only choice Trump has right now, he has to come super, super hard on Musk, because Musk is not going to stop.
Right.
He won't stop.
And
Musk
he has
is
a
not gonna
window.
stop.
He has a window to do it.
To him?
To Musk.
What could he do to him?
Oh, he could make it so that Musk can't send cars to China, or at least make it not profitable, cut all the government contracts. I mean, that's the thing, though. Musk has a degree of leverage, too, because especially with Starlink. Like, Starlink is super important to the military. A lot of his other stuff is military applications. Palantir is tight with Elon, so they have a lot of military applications too. So these tech guys, the PayPal mafia, the technocracy guys, they're really tied in and entrenched with the military. So that's where the private sector, it starts to get like, all right, does the military have more power, or do the contractors have more power?
Yeah, but listen, on behalf of America, Elon Musk and Donald Trump, keep your personal issues out of America becoming great again. Like, we are here in America, people are trying to put food on their plate. They're trying to raise their kids. They're trying to make money, have a job, have a healthy lifestyle, like do everything we want to do. We're not here to watch this soap opera of days of our lives with the richest man in the world and most powerful man in the world. Like, we're not here for that.
Do you think Elon wants to make America great again, though? Do you think he cares about that at all?
I think if you're using what Elon Musk set out to do, I think the number one thing on his agenda was killing the woke mind virus. And I looked at him aligning with Trump as who's against woke? Trump, I'm going with him. I think there's a very good indication that Elon had never voted for Trump in the past. I think he was more of a Democrat. I think a lot of people were, Joe Rogan, that camp. I think they were a lot of people switched over. I also think that Trump is very vindictive, and I think that Elon is very childish. And I thought this would go at least a year. I mean, did anybody have their money? This was ending in June.
Yeah.
Did you see that coming? But by the way, here's a couple of things to consider, just to kind of open up a different couple conversations. There was always things I was looking at that I was like, that's a weird relationship. Why don't those guys get along? What's this all about? Okay. Sam Altman and OpenAI. Elon Musk hates that guy.
Yeah.
Hates that guy. Trump would bring him around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's an awkward situation. All right. I don't know what kind of conversations are happening. I don't know what's going on there. Number two, Doge. What happened with Vivek? What happened there? Like, in my opinion, Vivek should have been the one running Doge. Elon could have been an advisor. Could have been around. He's already running a dozen other companies, impregnating a half a dozen women. Like, you need another job next to Trump? All right, here's another one
Adam,
for you.
Open that up, will you?
Hold on, let me just finish this up.
No.
Hold on.
Your point deserves for you to follow it up, because we processed deeply, and you did on this podcast. You did about how that tweet was so hit the wrong way, Vivek's tweet, that so much weight and heat came against him that he had to step back.
Correct. And part two to that, and I would like to revisit that with you, was that was on the heels of the whole H-1B visa situation. Vivek weighed in, Steve Bannon weighed in. It basically, MAGA 1.0 and MAGA 2.0 are starting to feud.
And Vivek's
so what happened
comment
with
was
that?
America not quite exceptionalism.
Yeah, because Vivek, I don't know, kind of speaks the truth. Some people are just lame as hell and they're entitled. The Epstein situation, okay, we talked about that. Makes a lot of sense why Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are kind of keeping mum's the word. So, and this big, beautiful bill. By the way, who in the administration did we actually hear of Elon feuding with? Do you remember who it was? Well, it was Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. Do you remember that? So Elon's in here having issues with key components of the administration. And it was sort of a lipstick on a pig for $250 million. And now we're basically seeing what happens. And then here's the last thing. What was the relationship with Susie Wiles? Correct. Chief of Staff.
Yeah, this from April, inside Elon Musk's dangerous battles with Trump's ice maiden. And in it, they talk about Susie Wiles, Chief of Staff.
This goes back to my initial point. Careful who gives you money. Elon basically gave $250 million, bought his way into the White House, him and his kids, piggybacking over here. And now he has the audacity to take down, or at least attempt to take down, the President of the United States. Now, Trump dealt with some assassination attempts, before he became inaugurated. This is a straight up character assassination by Elon Musk against the sitting President of the United States.
Is there any way? Is there any way, just to be devil's advocate and flip it? Is there any way, guys, Brandon? I want to know honestly that this could be a fake, coordinated fight. Like, remember, to distract everybody from something bigger that's happened. Remember, with Trump, Tom, in 2017 with Jeff Sessions, where Sessions appeared to be disloyal, but he was actually helping with key investigations behind the scenes. Could this be something?
Vinny, I appreciate the question. I appreciate the question.
Because it looks.
If there's one tweet, okay, cool. They're going back and forth, and Elon is not stopping. One joke, ha ha ha. Two jokes, 10 jokes.
I'm just saying,
you're coming for his throat, bro.
Speaker Johnson sided with Musk.
Yeah, I would.
What do you mean, Speaker Johnson sided with Musk?
What are you talking about? Go to Musk's tweet. Go to Musk's handle. Just go to his handle.
I'm just saying.
And go all the way. Yeah, go all the way. Okay, go zoom in a little bit around and keep going slower. And keep going. You'll see 6 hours ago, he says, I agree with this guy. Keep going.
Speaker Johnson just passed the big, beautiful bill in the House.
I was going to say, that's
He
weird.
said he was calling Elon today, too, when he was walking.
Right there. Look at that. I super agree with this guy. Mike Johnson. At some point, Congress has to stop this endless cycle of out-of-control deficit spending.
Okay, got it.
What's he saying?
He's on Elon's side.
He's saying what he's saying.
That's pro-Elon.
And by the way, go up and see he retweets something from Trump from 2012.
That was, I think that was a little bit before.
And look at Elon.
Yeah, that was a little before
right,
this.
but go all the way up.
But he has to go and look for that tweet. He has to dig through Mike Johnson's 7 years of tweets to go back and find
He found one of Trump.
Hold on. Read between the lines there.
Yeah, that's him calling
He's
out the
basically
spending.
saying you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, because
he's basically saying at some point you got to stop all this spending.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying, but now.
Because he did that with Trump. Go up.
Okay.
Keep going up. Watch what he did with Trump. This is what you was doing. No, go a little bit higher. It's the screenshot.
Oh, right here.
It's an obvious lie. Okay, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted. That he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. What does he say? Such a lie. Trump fires back at Elon. The online battle begins.
This is the problem with democracy, by the way. This is why they say you don't want to see how the sausage is made. This is the good, the bad, the ugly of what we're living with. Now everything's out in the open. Every single person, every single adversary, every foe, every enemy is like, oh, I know how to get between these mother suckers. You don't think she's watching this? You don't think Putin's watching this? You don't think the terrorists are watching this? Yeah. You don't think the Ayatollahs are watching this and being like, just eating their popcorn like they're Jon Stewart in that meme over here and just watching this all go down and loving it.
But Elon's a big liar,
Such
too,
a bad look for America.
Elon's a big liar, too, though, because, I mean, think about the video game thing where he paid somebody to get the best score in the world in the video game, and for years he acted like he was a world-class player at that super advanced video game. Then he got caught, like he hadn't even played the game before. So You know, what does that tell you that somebody's willing to put that much effort into crafting their image? You know, something that small and insignificant to be the best in the world at a video game. So, like, what else could he be lying about and, like, misportraying? If
PBD.
We'll do something like that.
Good point. PBD. I have one serious question for you.
Tell me.
For me, this is pretty ugly. I think it's about to get way uglier. How ugly can this get between these two guys?
Seizing Tesla? Like the government seizing Tesla as a matter of national security if they start pulling things that are critical to the military.
Hey,
Brandon.
That's PBD, not you.
Brandon, let me unpack a little bit with you.
Guys, I asked PBD a question, and you guys started talking. Allow the guy with the name of the podcast to talk.
As of 9 hours ago, as of a day ago, the Republican Party was probably the strongest it's been in decades.
Yep.
24 hours ago. Seriously, if you think about it.
Yeah. We saw the stats with Harry.
Oh, you kidding me? That the video shows, you know, middle America, they think about Republicans. This is the first time where the Democrats went from 23% in 1989 and NBC poll to today being even.
Yep.
While middle America sees both parties as being for middle America.
For the working class, right?
Dude, this is not good because this is got everything written on it for a civil war. And you know what's the one thing about both of them? They're both not gonna compromise. And so who is gonna be able to play the middle guy to come and do this? There is no candidate. There is no candidate. The only person that maybe stands a chance of being able to do this if Larry Ellison gets involved. Remember when Larry Ellison told Musk, don't fight with Apple? Yeah. That's not a fight you want to go. I don't know if you remember that. So Larry Ellison could be the only one that could be in his ear to listen to. I mean, Musk is unfollowing, allegedly,
Kirk.
All the people that are Trump's allies. What is he saying? I want to have nothing to do with your group. By the way, did you see what Charlie Kirk tweeted? Very respectful tweet Charlie put up.
What did
Charlie put up a very respectful tweet. Here's what Charlie Kirk's tweet is. We are so blessed to have Trump as president. That's 2 minutes ago. Keep going. That was okay. Keep going a little bit lower. No, keep going a little bit lower. There will be some fighting attacks in days to come. I just want to say something on the outset. We should never forget how terrible the environment was online prior to October 2022. No matter what happens, I'm grateful that Elon Musk just bought X and liberated free speech in America. His contribution to America and to civilization from that alone is immense.
Very true.
He said that. Then he says what? So his first credit is to who? His first credit is to Elon. What's his last credit to? Trump. So, and that happened right after he unfollowed him. Okay, that happened right after he unfollowed him. I think, you know, I remember when we were growing as a company so well, and there was this one guy that kept putting a freaking wrench in a momentum every damn time, and here's all it would do. We would be united like, go, and then boom, he said something, boom, now only have this side. And then I would work hard, we got it, 9 more months, and then boom, these guys are in. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's like a constant impediment.
Dude, it's like, so this is a momentum disruptor. And I feel, you know, okay, so let's say the main reason for this is the big, beautiful bill. Let's say that's the reason. If the real reason is the big, beautiful bill, let's say that's the real motive for it. Dude, you have enough power to be able to not have Congress pass it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you guys can not be on the same page and, you know, not have to say he was on the island and this, and that. That is a nuclear statement.
Yep.
That's not a statement of, hey, we can go to dinner and hang out. No, you can't. There's certain comments, let's just say you open up something to me about something that happened with your life we have a relationship together with.
Yeah.
I publicly tweet that.
Yeah.
I have permanently lost trust with you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a little bit.
Yeah.
It's permanent. So this relationship is gone. Okay? This relationship is totally gone. But for me, as weird as it sounds, Trump is being poised about it. Even his reaction is still poised.
Yeah.
He's not like bitter about it. He is, I don't know if people believe he wasn't like if something comes out and it shows that he is, something happened with Epstein, all that other stuff, it's going to be a Democratic birthday. It's the greatest gift being handed over to them, right? But to me, all I'm thinking about is who are the people that have the ability to sit down with these guys and have them listen to them? That's all I'm interested in right now. Larry Ellison is one.
Thiel?
No way. I don't think it's Thiel. I think Ellison is one.
Either, were you talking just Musk or either one?
Either one. To sit down with both of them. Somebody that calls a meeting right away. Ellison is one. Who else is it?
Look, there's not that many people.
I really think it's only Ellison. Because I think Ellison, I don't, Tom, not Bezos, not Altman, hell no. You got
Rogan?
Not Rogan. Nope. Rogan is going to probably do the podcast with Elon. They're probably texting right now. If it's not him, it's going to be Friedman. But that's a podcast is coming here soon. He's in Austin. He's probably going to go on Joe and talk to him and talk about some of this stuff. So that's going to be a massive podcast. But I'm talking about somebody that's going to, no cameras needed and doesn't need credit. Ellison doesn't give a shit about credit. He's not trying to be a famous person. He's just, he's living a different life. You need somebody that doesn't need any credit, doesn't want anything, that can sit down and have the conversation and be able to talk to Elon. Elon doesn't give me the vibes that he's going to listen to anybody. He doesn't give me the vibes that he's going to listen to anybody.
He doesn't seem like he wants to fix it either. Like, to say something like that would almost lead me to think that he doesn't expect him to be president for much longer, because what advantage does he have to say something like that where he's going to have a bad relationship with the president now after having a good relationship?
What do you mean he doesn't expect him to be president much longer?
I'm saying to say something like that and to make the president hate you and make an enemy out of him, like what are you thinking strategically?
In one afternoon, in 7 tweets in one afternoon, and my question is, I want to know where the spark came from. This is what we were talking about with Zelensky, Pat. It's like, who gave you the green light? And now we're all suspecting that it was the deep forces, intelligence forces, convincing the respective governments of the UK and the US to say, okay, let Zelensky off the leash here. Let's let him do the drone thing. And so I want to know what triggered Elon, because I believe the 7,500 in there will bother him. But would it trigger him like this? I don't think so.
Did you see what Trump did? Rob, I sent you the link, the one right before the one I just sent you, where they're asking him if Trump was going to say something about him. And Donald Trump said, we're going to have a little discussion now, very, very private. He has no comments on Elon. He didn't want to say anything.
He was interviewed?
Well, Trump and them are sitting down right now in the White House for the state dining room. He's hosting a roundtable with Fraternal Order of Police. That one right there, Robbie. And I guess they're asking him, and he says nothing.
What is this?
Is this it?
Yep.
Is that Bondi?
Yes. We're going to have a little discussion now, very private. And I just want to thank you all for being here. And thank you very much, media. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, any response to Elon Musk?
Because normally he's yelling at them, right? He's talking crap right back. He's not saying nothing.
Good job.
He's completely quiet. And mind you, Pat, I sent him a clip. Do you guys remember 3 months ago?
Wait a minute. So how are you processing this?
No, I'm saying like right now.
Thank you, media. Why is he being cordial and friendly to media?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Normally he'd be like, "What the?" He'd go crazy.
What is this roundtable regarding?
This is right now. It's a state dining room for the police. Yeah.
So who's that? Is that
you know
Pam
what I'm saying,
Bondi?
Pat?
Who's
Normally,
that next to him?
Pam Bondi. Just probably the
Tom
police.
Homan? Who is that? No,
Vinny.
That's Pam Bondi.
In the Oval Office or for in the briefing room. That's where they all get to stand there and ask questions. When you come here, this is a photo op. They don't do questions here.
But I'm saying, does Trump normally talk? Does Trump care?
I'd like to introduce this. We're going to do, and they take pictures so that they're covering the story. But in here, in this room, you'll see it over and over again. You go back and look at it. They don't yell in this room. It's like,
but they're asking. But would he answer questions?
I'd like to introduce it. I don't know.
If somebody asked a fake news question like, "Hey, we heard the bill is this" or something like that, Trump doesn't hold back. And he doesn't care what room he is in his house.
Look, if this was on the schedule today, I can tell you what Susie Wild did. Hey, we're going to come in here. You're going to have the photo op with the Fraternal Order of Police. I know it's been a very busy hour. Anybody that shouts a question out, anyone that interrupts, just hand me your credential on the way out.
I don't know.
Because Susie, that's her style. Yeah. Have you read about it? That's her style.
Yeah, no, I get it.
She's very level and say, you want to do that? She will keep law and order in here. And this is a photo op for the Fraternal Order for their meeting. This is not in the Oval Office where they all get to go ask their questions.
When did
What?
When did he make that tweet about you have 3.5 years, I have 40 years? When did he make that tweet?
Oh, but didn't that
6
sound like
hours ago.
what Pelosi
5 years
said
ago.
about
Okay.
W? Pelosi said the same thing about W.
I think that's a big. This is a very big component of what's happening, because you wrote a book, Your Next 5 Moves, being a long-term thinker, being a strategist. I don't think that this isn't weighing on both of their minds. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I actually had a very ugly conversation with a business associate of mine yesterday. This guy's 80 years old. I've done business with his son, who's 50. This guy's 80. And make a long story short, this guy looked me in the face, gave me his word, like it's Jerry Maguire, like I'll give him my word as strong as oak, and then just turned around and completely screwed me. Screwed me. I'm talking a lot of money. And he called me and he's like, yeah, I know, man. I know you're probably not happy with me right now. And I looked at him and I was like, dude, you're an 80-year-old man. And this is how you're operating. And I don't even know how to process this. And all I could think of is, you're going to be gone soon, buddy. And I'm going to be talking about you for the next 50 years. And people are going to know anytime your name comes up, oh, that's that guy? You know who you always talk about, Pat? The guy from AIG, Bob Ben Moshe.
Yeah.
He's been gone how long now? 10 years?
10 years.
Anytime you bring his name up, let his legacy continue to be what it is. You say the kindest thing about this guy.
Yeah.
The kindest things. He saved AIG, no?
Yep.
Long before he's gone, people are still talking about him. And I said to the guy on the call yesterday, I said, you screwed me, buddy. All right, so I lost 50 grand. I'll live. But let me tell you something, buddy. You know who Jack Bogle is? He goes, who's that?
Vanguard.
I go, I'm shocked. You're a financial guy. How do you not know who this guy is? He's Vanguard, billionaire. I go, do you know what he said before he died? Do you know his one thing that he wished for? He goes, what's that, tough guy? That's what he's saying to me, an 80-year-old guy. I go, that he dies with his reputation intact. And I go, soon you're not going to be here anymore, but I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing for 50 years. And anytime your name comes up, I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to be pretty. And he goes, that's it. I'm done with you. Click. And I go, okay, fine. What's my point? I think that they're both looking at each other. Trump's concerned about legacy, he's concerned about the short term. But Elon Musk is looking at this and be like, you might get the best of me now, Trump, but for 40 years, this is how I'll be thinking.
This also, I mean, remember, I'm just saying what ifs, because obviously we're speculating, but maybe this feud could be to hijack the media's attention. Everybody's focused on the drama. Elon talks about the Epstein client list and Trump's on it. What if this is a door to open that Kash Patel now has to drop? Maybe this is a ploy that now he's like, okay, now you have to put it out. Put out the list and let everybody see it so that everybody that he was talking about, from what was the billionaire's name? Rob, do you remember? Reid Hoffman and all these people and Bill Clinton that were all allegedly on it. Maybe this is a way to go, oh, we're fighting and oh, he's on the list. Drop the list. Kash Patel, I'm the president. Now you could show it. What if that's it? What if that's the main one is for him to do that and now we get to see it? Because again, I don't believe that Donald Trump hanging out with kids.
I just got a text from somebody that is in direct communication with the president.
Okay.
Right now, the advice from everybody has been to not say anything. Just get off Twitter, get off social, get off any of that stuff. Don't say anything. Just let us kind of sit back and see what we need to be doing. The only thing I'm interested in situations like this, when something goes from 0 to 10, all I care, the first list I make, you know what's the first list I make? Who does that person listen to? Who do they trust? So who does Elon Musk trust the most? Can you pull up who does Elon Musk
David Sachs
trust the most?
If you're to guess one right now, like in this world,
I think Sachs.
Who does he trust the most?
Sachs is up there.
Linda Yaccarino.
Ellison is there.
Linda Yaccarino.
Yeah,
Who's
they got
that?
a little bit of a fight, but
Jared Birchall, who is he's been his wealth manager. Never heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Davis, a longtime associate, joined X in 2003. Later led the Boring Company. Antonio Gracias.
That's a big one.
Alex Spiro, okay, stud of a guy. Gwynne Shotwell, president and CEO of SpaceX. Katie Miller, but I'm talking David
His
Sachs,
brother.
Kimball Musk.
His brother.
No, his brother can't get to him because if you read the book, I don't know. I'm not friends with these guys. It's not like I broke bread with these guys, and I'm speaking. I don't want to speak out of what do you call it? Out of school, like I'm I'm not. I've met Elon one time, and we've never exchanged text, communication, nothing. I don't have a relationship. So I'm speaking purely out of, if something happens at that level, if there's a falling out with your son or your kid, first thing I'm calling is, who does he trust that can, Tom, can you stop playing video games? Like,
I'm not. I was looking at from Roger Stone,
okay.
And there was something like that was autoplaying.
So Tom's like, you know that.
Pat,
You know
sorry,
the guy
man.
Brandon was talking about that he
Tom's
hired to get him to be ranked number 1 in the video game?
Yeah.
It's really Tom. That's officially been released. Everybody knows Tom's a great gamer.
Tom, stay with us.
But
here.
to me, that's what I'm interested
I got to
in.
get to level 3.
Who does he trust? And that call needs to be made. And Trump can't call that guy. Somebody in the middle that has EQ to say, hey, this is the opening question if I call Ellison. You know what my first call is? Larry, what do you think about what's going on? Open-ended. Because Larry may say, I agree with Elon. Okay. Do you think this is good for America? No, I don't. Have you spoken to him? No, couldn't get a hold of him. Can you please try? So I think you need to find a way to get this thing to be settled.
Yeah.
This is not good. Let me see what I can do. Yeah. That's how it's got to happen. Someone's got to call him. This is not good for America, man. This is terrible for America because Elon can still get what he wants with J.D. Vance being the president by still not doing this.
Yep.
Because he officially put a wedge in there that, you know what he officially did? He officially decreased the chance of J.D. Vance winning.
Bingo.
He officially decreased the chance of J.D. Vance winning because J.D. Vance officially became the number 1 target from Trump.
Yeah.
Remember that one time when they asked him, they said, J.D. Vance being a president, what did Trump say? I don't know about that. No, not him. No, we'll see what's going to happen. And then about 6 weeks ago, he said Rubio or Vance. Remember? He gave Rubio and Vance credit about 6 weeks ago.
By the way, thank you for bringing that up. Can I make one point about that? The forget J.D. Vance's name until 2028. In my opinion, Trump is not going anywhere. Trump is Teflon done. I can't believe I'm so a proponent of Trump at this point. It's crazy where I'm at right now. Like, I'm like disgusted at how Elon Musk is acting. But forget about J.D. Vance. But I also say this: you're not going to hear any more conversations about Trump's third term anytime soon. At this point, let's let him finish his second term. Let's make America great right now. Let's figure out this tariff situation. Let's figure out the border situation. Let's figure out this big, beautiful bill. You're not going to hear Steve Bannon guarantee third term. What do you guarantee, Steve Bannon? Steve Bannon has no position to say shit at this point.
Steve Bannon is saying that Trump should pull all of his Starlink, all of his SpaceX and all that stuff because he's threatening stuff. But here's the thing. Listen, I'm just being genuine and real. I'm happy and grateful that Elon Musk helped get our guy across the finish line, okay? The guy has been fighting since 2016, Russia collusion, all the impeachment, shot in the head, almost another attempt. Elon Musk and everything got him in. But I'm sorry, when it comes to this, push comes to shove, to hell with this dude. It's Donald Trump. It's the president of the United States. You're not going to be out there bashing him and trying to threaten him and all that shit because it's our country that matters, okay? Elon's Elon first. Donald Trump is America first, and he's been America first forever, since the beginning. Go roll the tapes from the 80s and 90s when he was on all these shows, okay? It's about our country. And mind you, these cats he's beefing with Donald Trump. We have Russia, which I believe by Sunday is going to attack, and he already said it. He's going to be attacking very, very soon. We got Israel and Gaza and all the shit that's happening in the world. China and these Chinese students bringing in bio and agriculture freaking weapons to try to attack. Yeah. There's too much shit going on. This is the number one thing that's going to be going on for the next freaking week. We got time for this shit.
Yeah. Can I ask a question quick? So what part of this could you think could be mental health related? Because if anybody who's read his book knows, like, he has these phases that Musk goes through where he like just descends into these like depression manic holes where he starts fights with people and kind of goes crazy, almost like in a seemingly bipolar way, and then combine that with people saying he allegedly is on different kinds of medication. I don't know. Do you think any part of this could be mental health related combined with not getting exactly what he wants?
I mean, if Brendan, from somebody that's drank and partied and stuff, that whatever he was on in the freaking Oval Office, Tom, when he was doing that, by the way, whatever, his son or whatever, he looked off. And remember, we said, Adam, I felt like the guy's in there. You're basically getting fired, and they're giving you a key. He looked like, remember in Men in Black, that alien that was in that guy?
Oh, your face is falling off your face.
What's his name, Edgar?
Your skin is falling off your face,
Your skin's falling off. That's what, look. Yeah, Rob, can you play this? Yeah. Look at what Look at his.
Brandon, you're asking a very
looks
poignant,
like he's
very important question.
Looks like he's morphing.
Because in my opinion, and this is from firsthand advice, but someone that knows Elon very well, the drugs have taken their toll.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how much drugs he's doing. Yes, he's a billionaire. Yes, he's done amazing things.
Whatever.
Yes, he's helped us.
Drugs.
But look, again, I was joking before, but if you got all these baby mamas, you're doing all these drugs, you're talking about going to Mars, we'd ask, well, what the hell's wrong with this person? He's an exception to the rule. I get it. But drugs don't discriminate, dude. You do this much drugs, you're going to have some major issues in your body going on.
Here's when Trump said that he showed him the bill he knew false. This bill was never shown to me once and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it. You either believe him or you don't believe him. A lot of people agree with him, and a lot of people don't agree with him. A lot, today when I talked to Charlie, one of the things was, look, if you're saying we're about saving money and we keep doing something like this and not showing that we want the government to get smaller, we got to kind of stay there. But to me, if there is one thing that is very black and white for me, Trump is America first.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yep.
Trump is America first. And his motive, the guy's not a perfect guy. No one's expecting him to be a perfect guy. I told Charlie today, I said, look, there's two things that's such a problem. Like, one time, one of my couples in a company, husband and wife, I introduced them to each other. And they eventually got married. They have a beautiful family, beautiful, beautiful family. But I remember one time she came up to me and she said, you know what? I'm going to compete against him. I said, what do you mean? I'm going to compete against him because I think I can do a better job of prospecting and da-da-da-da-da. I said, you're going to compete against who? Against him.
Her husband?
Yeah. I said, you think that's a good idea? Yeah, because I think I can. I said, no. I said, let me put it to you this way. You guys go like that, divorce is around the corner. Mm-hmm. In every marriage, there has to be a king and an alpha.
Yep.
He's the alpha, not you. If you're going to go like this, you're going to lose it. This is not going to work out. What do you want to do? You know what happened to her? Within 6 months, she flipped. You know what happened to their business? Blew up. They do 40, 50 million a year right now.
Good for them. Okay?
Good. So credit to both of them. But I knew he's an alpha. What, you think you're going to do that? He's not going to be okay with that. He's not. So where am I going with this? There's a old quote. I can't figure out who it's from. A friend of mine, Jeff, gave it to me like 17 years ago. I'm sure I'm going to find it here soon. He says, civilizations and empires fall when people care who gets the credit. Okay? So think in this case, Elon's like, without me, you would never be president. Imagine how many other people are saying that in his ear. Mm-hmm. Girls, other billionaires, other influencers that they were at PayPal Mafia and all these guys. He's got friends with a lot of people. World leaders, think about who Elon's talking to. Who's texting him? Who's talking? Everybody. And their mothers, right? Space, everybody. So imagine no, dude, everybody knows, man, behind closed doors. Without you, Trump would have never been president.
You should have been the president. Yeah, if
you would have, all this stuff, you would have never done this with the bill. You would have done this with the doors. You would have done this. Okay. So, the way he looks at him like this on this smile. But look at Trump. Trump is sitting there, 79 years old, 78 years old. He's about to be 79 in a few days.
Yeah.
He's sitting there saying, I almost freaking died. And I busted my ass at 78 years old, brought all of you guys together. We were about to lose this shit to Kamala and to freaking Biden, one of the two. Woke would have continued, ESG would have continued, all the shit would have continued. This is what you guys are doing to me? Seriously? A grandfather of this many grandkids and a family and all this other. You want to do this to me? Really? I think this is probably the first time in his career where he's sitting there, but when he's by himself, when I saw that video, the look, when he's sitting there by himself saying, what the fuck, what am I doing? What am I doing? Is this how it's supposed to be? I don't know who he talks to, it's God or his father and his mom and whoever it is. And Dad, Mom, am I supposed to go through? Is this what's, I don't know who it is. But he has to go reflect when he goes to the bathroom by himself or he's in an office by himself. But the reality of it is, when you look at the greatest comeback ever made in any sport, and politics is a contact sport, different kind of contact. This guy made the greatest comeback in the history of mankind, and he becomes president and almost dies multiple times. And he's still up there and brings all of these guys in together for America, not because he needs to be a president. He's always going to die being a president, billionaire, women, shows, all that. He didn't need this to be able to do it. One of the two have to realize one is the alpha. And Elon didn't want to cave to Trump being the alpha amongst alphas. But the reality is he had to accept it from day one. If you're doing this, you have to understand that Trump is the alpha, not you, in this setting. And it's unfortunate because this happens on sports teams, this happens in families, this happens in countries, this happens in a lot of different places. It doesn't mean the alpha is not going to stumble and make mistakes. It doesn't mean that the bill is a good bill. It could mean you're right, that the bill sucks. But it means he's the alpha. You have to save the respect of the alpha. You have to save that image of the alpha. Privately, you say, this fucking sucks. You don't do it this way. You don't do it this way because there's a lot of people that are innocent family people that are right now. Like, you just don't do it this way. This is not a good move. This is not a good move. And you know, what happened the last 4 years, if you put the most important people the last 4 years, number one is Trump. Number two is Elon, what he did with X. He's right there.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not the guy. You're not the guy. And that is the challenge here. And unfortunately, this is where we are today, folks. Anyways, wanted to do an emergency podcast with you guys. For those of you guys that joined us, awesome. Thank you. If you enjoyed it, support us. Press the subscribe button. I don't think I've asked that for that in a while. And I saw a bunch of you guys ordered a bunch of allegedly, I think, stuff that we have here as well. I know we have limited supply because we barely do it. But if you guys haven't gotten any of the allegedly gear and shirt, I'm sure if you sport that the next couple weeks, people are going to get a kick out of this. That's funny. And it's a word probably everybody should be using without jumping in conclusion. Do you know Elon with Trump, Epstein? Allegedly. Do you know Elon? Allegedly. Anyways, God bless everybody. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.